One jam to start off this video. Today we are reviewing the Natasha NBSG silent guitars. So these are the new kid on the blocks when it comes to silent guitars. What are silent guitars, Keegan?
Silent guitars are essentially something, as you can see, it doesn't have a body as such like a traditional acoustic guitar. Which means that if I turn the volume down on this, nothing. Turn the volume up. So essentially these are connected to these two lovely amps that we have behind us, and what that means is we are only getting sound out of the amps. There's nothing coming out of the guitar itself.
And the best part about these guitars is that you can travel easily with them. You can take them around places if you are doing a lot of gigs. See, it's very easy. You just twist out this nut and this frame should just pop right open. Thank you, Keegan. Yeah, so if you see over here now, this thing will just come out like that. This goes in a thin bag, which is, this tiny, and this will be packing over it like this. So yeah, it's very easy to take around, and then when you want to get back in action, you just put it back in this way. And these are the same nuts that act as the strap buttons. So when you put these in, you are back into action and you can start playing these guitars once again. And once they are in, it's a really solid guitar. It wouldn't open up on its own.
No, and the best part is you don't need any additional tools. These have its own grip.
Yeah.
So no screwdrivers, no Allen keys, nothing of the sort.
Yeah, you can just twist them open with your hand. Yeah, and they're built really well. So just to give you guys an overview about this brand Natasha, what you think about this brand is that they're going for sustainability and practicality with their designs. So they want to make it, eco-friendly, sustainable, just to good for the planet. They're using bamboo on that guitar.
Yes.
And at the same time, they're designed in a way where they're minimal and to the point. No nonsense on the guitar that would distract you from playing, nothing that does not serve a purpose. Every piece of wood or plastic or metal that has been put on here has a purpose to solve. So yeah, it's
clean build, and also they've kept the controls to a minimum. They haven't had these flurry of buttons over here that or a touch screen or anything like that.
Yeah, so I'll just show them the preamp that is on here. I'll just remove the screws on my guitar really quickly to take out the frame. And now if you take a look here, you see the preamp. So it has two knobs. As Keegan was saying, it's a very simple setup, but if you want more detail on this, you just go into the Natasha app and then you have like a ton of controls that you can play around with. So the first one is a volume control. You see on the screen as I twisted, it shows levels of volume. It's very simple, no volume. And then you have volume and 9 different levels. Followed by that is where it gets interesting. So this is the effects knob. Turn it on, hold it for a while, and now it gets one effect. The first effect is reverb, and you can turn up the level of this effect. So if you turn it up, it's a ton of reverb now. And there are like multitudes of these reverb effects inside the app. You can just go in and you would have like loads of different settings that you can tweak around and play around with. And if you just go on to the next effect, it has a chorus effect. So this is the chorus. And then you can like set the level of it. So have it minimally there.
Just subtle.
And then we've got some delay. Stuff like that, and these are some great effects, man.
Yeah, instead of having like a pedal board that you need to carry,
it doesn't sound like something you just have on there for a feature. It's proper effects that you've got. And then the final mode is distortion, and
let's see.
Yeah, it's The distortion is something you don't use much if you have it on this guitar, and if you turn it up, it's yeah, it's not a very
But you know, the interesting thing is you don't have to use it as a distortion. You can just use it as like a
boost. Yeah, that's yeah, I see that. Just have it set like really low and and then just lift up a little bit when you're going into your solo section and stuff like that.
Yep. So
yeah, we tried playing around in the app and setting up the distortion settings. It wasn't very you cannot get the electric guitar sound, but yeah, that's something that's expected.
I wouldn't advise if you want to try and get a distortion out of piezo anyway.
It's a piezo pickup, so yeah, it doesn't sound that great with distortion. That's just how piezos are. But yeah, apart from that, you can stack all 4 of them at once as well. So you can have delay, chorus, reverb and distortion on the same patch. Apart from that, if you notice the first knob over here, it has 4 mastering settings. So that's basically 4 different EQ curves. So you see here FGS, that's for fingerstyle. So this is like more optimized for playing. It will sound really clean on that. And then you have STR, that's for strumming. I went down to turn off the delay. Turned on reverb also. Oh my god, now I have everything on. Yeah, so it's a very clean sounding pickup. You notice like a great sounding piezo that they've got going on. Sounds so it's a very nice sounding pickup that they have here. Apart from that, the third thing is the band setting. So this is optimized for, I'm sure it would have some more of the mid end. Yeah, it's just a mid boosted EQ setting.
So that's just to, stand out in a mix.
Yeah,
when you have a drum and keyboards and all that.
And then there's a solo.
Yeah, it's probably giving you a boost. You do have 2 options of a boost in terms of whether you want to go with the solo section or you just want to play around with the effects.
Yeah, so it's got, and once again, you can tweak all of this EQ right inside the app. You can have like 4 different EQ patches that you can just slap on really quickly. No messing around with the sound guy.
Yeah, the app is definitely an advantage and an easier way to operate this.
Yeah.
And
so let's get over to the sounds now. So Keegan, can you just demonstrate to us some of the sounds that this thing has?
So also we forgot to mention, I guess, is that what I'm playing is what you would call a classical style.
Classical style, yes.
So this has got the nylon strings on here. So you can hear the... I'm actually enjoying this sound just because firstly I just find that the classical sound of it sounds like a classical guitar. It doesn't sound like a silent guitar or anything.
Yeah, I mean most
and it feels great. It's obviously got a slightly wider neck because that's how classical guitars are.
Yeah.
But just the way the guitar feels. So this is the fingerstyle mode. Let's go to the strumming. Again, a very nice mellow sound that we have.
Yeah, another thing I'm just noting about the sound, it sounds really like a mic'd up acoustic guitar. It lacks that piezo character, which is a great thing because that nobody likes that tinny piezo sound, right? And that's just a thing that you have to struggle with most electroacoustic guitars that are not this good in terms of their pickups.
And in fact, classical guitars, it's even more of a struggle because of how the strings sit on the bridge. The piezos don't always pick up the frequencies that well. This one seems to just catch it really well.
it's a very solid sounding piezo sound. I mean, I haven't heard a better piezo.
You know, when I play this, I feel like I'm just sitting on a beach with this guitar, just like.
Also, another added benefit that you get with these guitars is that you have a transmitter.
Yes.
What you see over here, I'll just pull it out. Yes. So this thing is transmitting the sound from my guitar. Over here, you see there's a green light glowing. So that transmits the signal directly into this. No cables or no external wireless solutions. You can just use this. But at the same time, caution. This runs on 2.4 gigahertz frequency range. So if you have a lot of wireless equipment on the stage, this might interfere. Not really a pro setup, but
For smaller stages,
for smaller
settings.
stages, doing it with your bandmates, doing it at home, this is very convenient.
It's perfect for practice.
Don't need a cable with this. You can just sit like this, like a traditional acoustic guitar. You don't have anything hanging off of it, and at the same time, you don't have anything that is connected to the amp either. It's just a very free flow setup.
And I mean, it also does come with the option of plugging it in
so
using a traditional
always,
jack.
In case you find you need to use a cable or you need something wireless that runs on 5 gigahertz, you can just plug it into this while traditional 1/4 inch output and you're
Good to go. And of course, there's also a headphone out. And the great thing about this is, being a silent guitar, you always need to plug it in somewhere. But if you don't have anything, just plug a pair of headphones in here and you're good to go. Charging cable, and also interesting thing, it's got a tuner.
Yeah.
Which
we didn't mention, but yeah, it has a tuner.
It does have a tuner. It's something that it's kind of an underrated feature. And then when pickups don't have that, you're like, oh my god, now I get to get my phone out. And
I mean, yeah, most silent guitars and acoustic guitars, they have a tuner on, I would say.
I know a few that don't.
I mean, yeah, there are many that don't also.
Yeah, there are quite a few that don't. Having said that, the app is always
helpful
there to help you. And another thing I really wanted to point out was these frames. Now on camera it might look really thin and flimsy.
But yeah, you can put weight on it.
Yes.
And it wouldn't budge at all. The build quality, it's
almost
very
as
solid.
Stiff as metal.
Yeah, it wouldn't move.
And it's a great thing because when you're playing, you're actually resting your arm and the guitar on it. So would definitely
comes in handy.
Comes in handy, and it's something that you wouldn't think is possible with such a thin piece of material. But
yeah, they have designed this really well.
They've really done this well.
Yeah, it sounds great, looks great. What about the Yamaha silent guitar? How do you think it compares to that? Have you ever played that one?
I haven't actually played the Yamaha.
So I've played the Yamaha quite a little bit. This sounds better than that. I'm just being very honest. This has a nicer pickup compared to the Yamaha. I feel the Yamaha is also a little heavier than this.
Oh, okay.
It uses a lot more of solid pieces of wood at places. This is a lot lighter than that. And also this feels a lot more premium than the Yamaha silent guitar. I'm just being honest. I'm not saying this just because I'm here. I've played that guitar and this is better than that in almost all senses. The only thing that I would be a little bit skeptical about is maybe, how it'll last long term. But then if you come over to Procrat, they have some really solid after sales services. So in case you have any issues, I think you're still sorted with that. What are the problems you think with this guitar?
Off the bat, I just find the headstock a little
heavy.
Right?
Yeah, same thing. This kind of tips over.
Yeah.
A big reason for that is because this whole bit that should have been wood is now replaced with electrical components and plastic housing. So yeah, the balance is a little bit towards the headstock, and it does like to do the head dive thing. But when you have your hand over it, it's completely alright. So even when you're standing up, just try to have a little bit of an elbow over it. When you're sitting down as well, try to have your elbow over, and then it's completely okay. I think.
Yeah, it's not the worst head dive I've seen worse, but just something to point out. And anything else that you?
Yeah, I think it has a very seamless neck joint as well. It just feels like it's a same piece of wood that continues over here. It's like a neck through design that you would have on basses and electric guitars.
Yeah.
And then having it on an acoustic, I mean, yeah, it's just next level playability that you are expecting.
Playability, stability.
Yeah. It comes with a really nice truss rod as well, I'm sure, inside. Yeah, it's a pretty solid piece of hardware for doing your gigs and traveling and recording and practicing with your band.
Yeah, everything
being on
is,
the road.
Everything is kind of geared towards the convenience of traveling these days. Taking stuff on flights and buses, on vans, and all those kind of things.
Also, if you look at the fretwork, it has oval endings, like they are rounded frets.
Again, another premium feature.
Yeah, so no fret ends at all. They just end before the fretboard ends. Another thing which I think can be improved is, this plastic pickguard that they have.
Seems like an afterthought that they've thrown on.
I mean, I can always remove this off, but it does contribute to the look of the guitar a little bit. But yeah, it's not the best of the plastic that they've used on here. It could be a little better, I feel, if they want to release it later on. But yeah, anyhow, you can just remove this off and you still would have a very good guitar. This is not like a big thing to consider. It wouldn't be a deal breaker.
Yeah, I mean, from the looks perspective, it's got a nice matte finish. So it's...
Yep. So yeah, you want to say anything else about these?
No, just check these out. They're at our store at ProCraft, and we have both versions. We have the steel string one as well as the nylon string one.
Yeah, we have a bamboo version of this as well in the steel string.
Yes.
So there are bamboo in both, and there's a mahogany in the steel string, and not in the classic one.
No.